Hello everyone and welcome to Stan Wine Man TV. I am your host Stan Rattan and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show. Sorry guys, we're in the black today. This is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Welcome to April. It's nice to see the sunshine. I've been out golfing. I love golf. I have to be careful not to let golf intrude on my writing and my YouTube episodes, but love that sport. Love to do it. But anyway, it's nice to see the sunshine and nice to see the weather getting warmer, especially here on San Juan Island where it's so beautiful. Speaking of San Juan Island, I'm doing wines from San Juan Vineyards, the boys from the backyard. They have a new winemaker, Chris. I'm sorry I don't have his last name. I should, but I don't. Nice guy. He's taken over the realms at San Juan Vineyards, and these would be the first two wines from his tenor. I've had tenure, excuse me. I think maybe he's soprano, maybe he's bass. I don't know. Anyway, he just came on board in time to do the 2016 whites. Yvonne Swanberg, the owner of San Juan Vineyards, a good friend of mine. I always get nervous when I review her wines on YouTube. I've had Chris Premise on you here before. He's a winemaker he was a winemaker at San Juan Vineyards, left a couple of years ago. Now she's on to the third Chris as a winemaker. Nice guy. I'm going to have him on YouTube. He said he'd like to do that, so I'm looking forward to that. But we're going to review the two wines from the new Chris at San Juan Vineyards. Yvonne works so hard for that winery, and she does so much for it. I really have a lot of respect for her, and I think she's really happy with Chris, the new winemaker, the new Chris. Chris number 3, Chris the third. Let's get started. Give it a little rinse here. I've reviewed San Juan Vineyard wines on YouTube before. It's interesting to me that the locals sometimes have a hard time supporting the wines from San Juan Vineyards. I don't know why. Because they're right there. You pass them on the road. I pass them every day when I go to work and when I come home from work. But I've really, throughout the years, they've had some really stellar wines. And so I have a lot of respect for what Yvonne does and for what some of the winemakers have done in the past. This is the 2016 San Juan Vineyards Pinot Gris, Yakima Valley, Washington. This rolls in at, I didn't get the pricing, it'll be 14 bucks, usually is what she runs her Pinot Gris at. Give you a little up close there. She's had the winery up for sale for quite a while, and through all this time when she's had people interested, not interested, they come and they go, she's really been behind the winery, really striving to keep it where she wants it to be quality-wise. Let's see what we get on the nose. First off, I get a lot of ripe apples. It reminds me of a good, ripe, red, delicious apple. And there's an interesting little peach and apricot component coming through. I like the nose. And a little bit of a toastiness that comes through, which is quite interesting. All right, let's see what we get on the palate. Excited for this new winemaker. Let's see what he does here. This is good Pinot Gris. It really is. I like it a lot. Good mouthfeel. It's not super bright. It has good apple, and there's some interesting pear notes. But what really struck me right off the bat is it got some spiciness in there. And I got a little bit of white pepper coming through, which I really like. Right on the back end, I get that peach component comes through on the very back end of this wine. Let's give it another try here. You have very solid mouthfeel, but it's still fresh. So you're not getting any cloying fruit, you're not getting like a fruit bomb by any stretch, don't get me wrong. But good fruit notes, a lot of apple, like I already said, a little bit of pear, and then at the very end I get that peach, slight peach component that comes through, which I find very intriguing. This is a really good Pinot Gris at that price point. Now, Yvonne fluctuates up and down sometimes on her prices. She might drop it at some point, but I don't think she'll need to. I think this one will fly off the shelf. I am really impressed. Chris III has done a very, very good job with this white wine. I'm going to go BB plus on that. I think it's really well made. It's certainly not the best Pinot Gris I've ever had, but boy, it is the best one I've had from San Juan Vineyards. Honestly. Happy about that. Let's move on. Now Yvonne skipped a year on Chardonnay, which I think she was really regretted that. Now she has this Chardonnay, 2016, San Juan Vineyards, Chardonnay, Columbia Valley. There you go. All right. This also rolls in at $14, and very curious about this. See what we get on the nose here. Now this has almost more apple than the Pinot Gris. Before I try this Chardonnay, I just want you to know how hard it is for me to do these, because when I review wines, I'm very honest. I don't want anybody who watches these episodes to try the wines, I give it a good score, go back and say, what is he talking about? Having a retail palate really helps me above some other critics, because I have to face the people that I sell the wine to. So I try really hard to understand what I call the 80%ers. What 80% of the people are going to like, the wine that they're going to like, the flavor profiles and so forth. And a lot of my grades are predicated on that very thing. Because, well, of course, the wine has to be well made. It has to have all the elements that make it a wine that will be acceptable to 80% of the people. Now, I do have the other 20% that, you know, they have very quirky palates like myself. I can go on the quirky side, very old world palates, things like that. There's people like that out there. I think that Pinot Gris would appeal to anybody across the board, whether old world or new world. Even has a little bit of minerality to it. But this Chardonnay, now, after getting on, I'll get off my soapbox now, let's get into the Chardonnay. So lots of apples. I'm also getting a little bit of a green pear element coming through. And there's just a hint of baking spice, which I find quite curious. Let's see what we get on the palate. Pretty simple Chardonnay. I think the cool thing about this Chardonnay is there's no oak influence at all. I don't taste it. I'm sure they might have used some neutral oak, perhaps. But there's not a lot of oak to this, if any. Very clean. A very clean Chardonnay. That's what I'll go there with that. I get that green pear component coming through along with the apples. Nice flow across the palate. Good balance, for sure. There's nothing funky about this. There's nothing weird about it. It's just straight up simple Chardonnay. Yes, very, very, it's not one-dimensional. I won't go that far to say it's one-dimensional. I think it's fresh. It's got apples. It's got pears. Good acidity. I think when I'm drinking this wine, the first thing that came to my mind is a good job by San Juan Vineyards creating a Chardonnay that goes well with shellfish. I would have this with mussels, clams, oysters, any of those things. Around here, that's a good thing. It's lingering with like kind of a green pear, green apple skin component that's kind of lingering in the back of the mouth. If you're an oak fan, you won't like this. If you're looking for a Chardonnay with oak, forget about it. Forget about it. It's not there. It's just nice, clean, simple Chardonnay. Nothing outstanding, nothing to write home about. I do get a little bit of a baking spice component, just a tiny bit, which is interesting as I don't taste any oak on this wine. There's an interesting lime Just slight. It made me think about it right on the mid palate. Like I said, for the price, $13 or 14 bucks, yeah, take it or leave it. There's a lot of Chardonnays in that price range that you might like better, but I think it's above average. I'm going to go C+, B- on this wine. It's well made. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not very complex. That's as far as I'm going to go on that. So there you go. San Juan Vineyards Whites. Nice start. Chris the third. I got to get his last name. It's kind of embarrassing that I don't know that. We even had dinner together one night. So, hook me up on Twitter, @StanTheWineman. Make a comment. What do you think? How do you feel about the local winery, San Juan Vineyards, where it's going? Are you supporting it if you're an islander? Do you support Yvonne and let her know what you think of her wines? Be honest with her. She needs to know because she likes to know. Nobody likes criticism, of course, but yeah, that's the only way you can improve. How can I improve this program? Let me know. Yeah, check out my blogs. The Blue Collar Wine Guy on the Seattle PI. I just posted my pick of the week, a Washington Merlot. And check out my personal website, StanTheWineman.com. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.